Hi, I'm Kevin McGeary, local author and musician and a regular contributor to Hannah's Bookshelf. And here are 4 books I have read in the past month. So I'll start with Flesh by David Soloy, which won the Booker Prize in 2025, the most recent one. And it makes a bit of a nonsense of the claim that the publishing industry isn't in any way female-dominated, because it's about a man, by a man, and it's largely about unapologetically enjoying the pleasures of the flesh. So here is a quote from it. Perhaps at that age, he thinks that you first have the sense that you and your body are not entirely identical, that you occupy the same space without being quite the same thing, because some part of you seems to lag the transformation of your body and to be surprised by it in the way that an outside observer might be, so that you no longer feel entirely at one with your body as you always had until then, and it starts to make sense to talk about it as if it was something slightly separate from yourself, even while you seem powerless than ever to deny it whatever it wants. So it follows the main character from a very early age, well into adulthood, so I very much enjoyed it. Next one is a Taiwan Travelogue, which won the International Booker Prize. So this was written by a woman, translated by a woman, and it is about mostly a relationship between 2 women who are with a sort of secret infatuation. So here is a paragraph from the second half of the book. I probably never would have detected this in her had we not spent so much time together. Though she wore a placid smile, Zhi Tan was in fact a worldly person, capable of bending and stretching the rules. She was discreet and scrupulous, but she was also capable of complaining and chastising, as well as teasing and jesting. This made her a delightful companion and a genuinely likable person. Yet it was all a mask. So it's an interesting choice for a Booker Prize winner, and it will no doubt become even more poignant when the inevitable happens and China invades the island that used to belong to China. So, but I thoroughly enjoyed Taiwan Travelogue. I've been to Taiwan 3 times. I absolutely loved it. So next one, to non-fiction, I read Daughters of the Bamboo Grove by Barbara Demick, and it is about a girl who... So I happened to recently have attended a wedding, and I think the only non-Caucasian person at the wedding was adopted from China when she was a baby, but she's now old enough to vote. So this is about how 2 twins who were separated at birth and then because one of them was adopted into the US, and how they finally reunite as adults. So, and under the one-child policy, if a woman was pregnant without a license, in some cases, she would be kidnapped by authorities, be forced to have an abortion, and be made to pay for the privilege. And this was normal and happened in a continent-sized country over a period of decades. So here is a part from the end. Some Chinese scholars believe that the one-child policy is the Communist Party's biggest mistake, even worse than the previous debacles. Enduring for more than 35 years, the policy shattered marriages, led to the deaths of countless children and the suicides of parents, and left China with a population expected to continue declining into the next century. It was all-encompassing, leaving almost everybody a victim or a perpetrator or both. So a very poignant book. And it's a matter of opinion as to whether the Chinese Communist Party has made a lot of mistakes, and the people in the story, they lived in a village, a mountain village that even a car couldn't even get to. But the Communist Party has so many tentacles that they managed to catch people who breached the one-child policy. And lastly, I read Half a Lifelong Romance by Eileen Chang. So Eileen Chang had a sort of Benjamin Button of a literary career, like Dorothy Parker. She was a darling of the establishment when she was in her 30s, but when she died as an old lady, she was completely unknown. So, and it's a long novel about 2 people who love each other but somehow can't end up together. So here's a nice clip. She was itching to clip him around the ear, give him a good drubbing, but she had held herself in check. She had promised herself to get a firm grip on him this time by dangling her sister in front of his eyes, the way old ladies used opium to keep their sons from running off to brothels. Once a man had sunk into that sweet swamp, his ties to home were assured. So, Half a Lifelong Romance by Eileen Chang. Again, another novel I enjoyed, and I've enjoyed everything by Eileen Chang that I have read. And that is everything for me.